This is Fat Mystic Wizard, aka Andrew from Team Jawin, coming at you with a one-shot discussion. Now, a lot of people in this game know that Konami of the TCG brands loves rarity bumping cards from their OCG counterparts to make sets sell. A couple notable examples include Evenly Matched from Super to Secret from Circuit Break, as Bubble Good Judgment from A Common to Secret from Lord of Tachyon Galaxy. Now, as mad as you may be for Konami rarity bumping your decks, there are times when Konami does throw us breaks. Top 10 times Konami throws a break on rarity bumping. Now, the rules for this are the card originally had to be a super lower in its original printing. It also had to be a meta relevant within a week of its initial release in the TCG. Also, it's only main sets only, no side sets like Hidden Arsenal, etc. And number 4, outside of 2 exceptions, 1 per set. There are 2 cards on this list that have multiples because I feel like you could not pick between one or the other because they went hand in hand. So without further ado, let's get to the top 10 cards that Konami gave us a break on. Starting with Called by the Grave at number 10, which was given to us as a Super in Extreme Force Special Edition, which was released as a common officially in Flames of Destruction as a common. Called by the Grave was made to counter decks to the point where hand traps were becoming too powerful. It was pretty bad in the TCG at one point. Almost a fourth of your deck, if not almost sometimes in a case, a third of your deck was eaten up by hand traps to stop decks in competitive play. Now, while that was a necessary evil, it also made it to where if you got stuck by one of those said hand traps, your deck usually shut down and lost. Examples like Droll Mockbird, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, etc. Now, this card was a saving grace to try to keep some of those hand traps in check, and also other monster effects that were also dangerous at the time, like Double Helix and other cards were also good with this. This is one of those cards that it could have never been a promo. I could have seen easily been an Ultra or Secret in Flames of Destruction. Now, Konami made it a really nice super promotion so those people could have their nice, juicy holo print, and then for the casual players, they could just pick up their commons later. This was a really good card, so Called by the Grave at number 10. So for number 9, we have Artifact Moraltech, Primal Origin, super rare. Artifacts were released in a time where anything could top in Yu-Gi-Oh! Mermails, Boojins, Geargia, Fire Fist, etc. And this Artifacts created another deck on that list, which I'll get to in a second. But in the OCG, it was created in a deck known as Chronofax, which used Chronometer Never Disc to get pluses. We never got that card until years later in World Superstars, but that was key for the component for the deck. Now, what the TCG created instead was what we called HAT, Hands Artifact Trap Tricks. And people were wondering why this deck was not higher rarity. People were thinking Sanctum was going to be a secret, Artifact Moraltech was going to be an ultra, and Konami made Sanctum an ultra and this a super. No secrets and artifacts, which is why I put Moraltech at number 9 from Primal Origins. So, yeah. For number 8, we have Gaga Cowboy from Abyss Rising. When this card was released at the sneak, it seemed very underwhelming to the point where I pulled one at my sneak and sold it for $5. But not even a week later, people realized, oh wait, if my opponent's less than 800 in main phase 2, I can just overlay 2 level 4s and burn for game. Which is exactly what happened and caused this card to instantly quadruple in price from 10 to 40. Now, this is one of those cards I easily could have seen Konami making easily an ultra rare and make it $60. The fact that they didn't was really nice, and this card was seen in extra decks for a very long time until it came to the point where decks dealt more damage to the point where having less than 800 was almost unlikely. So, Gaga Cowboy from Abyss Rising at number 8. For number 7, we have Castel the Skyblaster Musketeer from Duelist Alliance. This was at the end of an era, the beginning of an era that ended in a previous era. Duelist Alliance is one of the best sets that Konami has ever created in a mainstream set, and that is pretty much undebatable. Gear Shaddolls, Burning Abyss, etc. And probably a power creep to number 101 in the form of Castel. Castel has 2 effects. One, detach 2 materials to shuffle any face-up card back into the opponent's deck, and detach 1 to have like a Book of Moon effect. This card was 20 at the sneak and very, very quickly jumped to $40 as a super. I easily could have seen this being a secret rare. But Konami threw us a bone and made it a super rare. Had this been an ultra secret, I easily could have seen it a double in price or even triple had it been a secret possibly. So Castel, the Skyblaster Musketeer, at number 7. For number 6, we have 9 Pillars of the Yangzing from Invasion of Vengeance. Now, we have a lot of counter traps in history, like Satelanopha Alpha and Inferni Barrier, who were high rarities in their archetypes because of the power and ease of activating said counter trap, and in some cases, the searchability of it. 9 Pillars was in that same class where it would negate and give you pluses and was searchable, yet was only a rare. Danglon was made an ultra and could have been rarity bumped, but we're not talking about Danglon. And it's like, why was this card not a holo? I honestly think this card was the sole reason Danglon got put on the Forbidden Limited list to Forbidden status in the TCG in tandem with Danglong and Dinos. But the fact that one of the best counter traps for that archetype, that's one of the best archetype counter traps in the game, in my opinion, was only made a rare, still shocks me to this day. This easily could have been ultra rare. So that is 9 Pillars of the Yangzing, and number 6 from Invasion of Vengeance. For number 5 is one of my multi-pairs, which is a duo. It says Inzektor Dragonfly as a rare, and Inzektor Hornet as a super rare, both from Order of Chaos. This was at the dawn of the Xyz era, where decks were just doing really good, and Xyzs had just were new to the game. This archetype had already proven itself in the OCG as one of the most dominant decks over there. In fact, it was the most dominant deck for quite a while. But when it came over to the TCG, people were surprised that Dragonfly was only rare and Hornet was only a super. Now, while Hornet was a $40 super, you needed 3 of 40s apiece, people don't understand why these were not higher rarity. Now, this was in the triangle format where you had Inzektors, Windups, and a more powerful version of the TCG of Dino Rabbit, which is where I'm going to get to the point where one of the few reasons why these might have not been rarity bumped was the fact that we had a TCG exclusive known as the Volzar Dolka, which was able to negate Dragonfly's effects and Centipede's effects to search and re-equipped. So, outside of that, I do not see why these weren't both easily ultra rares and could have easily been really expensive. So, Inzektor Dragonfly and Inzektor Hornet from Order of Chaos at number 5. For my number 4, we have Zodiac Rat Pierre from Raging Tempest. This archetype had already proven itself as a tier 0 deck in the OCG / engine. So, when people saw what this card was doing, people screamed in the TCG that it would probably be a secret rare that you'd need 3 of, and I was on that train. Comes to my surprise that Zodiac Barrage, Zodiac Trident, and Zodiac Broadbull were made the secrets, and this was only made a super. Now, the only reason I could fathom this being a super is the fact that Konami has information we don't have. They knew what their next Forbidden Limited list was going to look like, and they knew this was going to get semi-limited. Konami, a while back in 2015, semi-limited Necroza Bryonic as a term to calm down the player base. Maybe Konami made this a super rare, knowing they're going to semi-limit it, so they wouldn't have a repeat of Necroza Bryonic. So making it a super as a key combo star in the deck was really, really nice. So Zodiac Rat Pierre from Raging Tempest comes in at number 4. At number 3 is the other multi-set from Lord of Tachyon Galaxy, probably one of the most broken archetypes of all time. That's one of the best decks of all time. You have Blaster, Tidal, Redox, and Tempest. And the 4 babies, which I did not picture here, and I'm sorry about that. This archetype was probably one of the best archetypes, easily one of the top 5 decks of all time in the TCG and OCG. I personally think that these all could have been secrets, and the baby versions could have all been ultra. Now, 2 reasons why I think they may have not made these secrets is they needed a promo for that year's set of collector's tins. Back then, we didn't have mega tins like we do today. You got random promos and some packs, regular packs from previous releases. But or the fact that they didn't want to eat up 4 secret slots in their stuff. But just fathom me out there. You had Draco Sax that was already rarity bumped in the secret for this archetype, were 100s and 150s apiece. You had Big Eyes that were 100, 150s apiece, easily making this deck easily $1,200, $1,500. And these were as rares, which were 10s apiece because they're short printed rares. Just imagine if these had been ultra rares, just these 3 had been ultras, they would have easily been 60, 70, 80 plus a piece. Multiply that by 12, and that would just been a nightmare. And I don't even want to fathom them as secret rares. I don't even want to fathom that. So just let me lasting thought. Imagine these are all secret rares, and you need 3 of them, and all the babies as ultra rares, and you need 2 of them. Would have probably made this archetype the most expensive deck of all time. Even probably beaten out Teledad and Prophecy. So Dragon Rulers plus the archetype as a whole, as commons rares from Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy as number 3. For my number 2 spot, we have, I don't have an OG print of this, I apologize, is Fire Formation Tanki as a common in Cosmo Blazar. Cosmo Blazar introduced us the Fire Fist archetype, which was showing some success in Japan, as they had obviously rarity bumped Fire Fist Bear from a rare, I think, to a ultra. I'm not 100% sure about that. Correct me in the comments below if you need to. But the fact of the matter is we had things like Wind Up Rabbit, Reborn Tengu, cards that were still really good in the TCG, and it's like Fire Formation Tenki was one of the best cards in the set. It was only a common. This easily could have been ultra rare to match Bear and would have been a very good selling point of the set. But they made it as a common. So Konami, thank you for making one of the best searching cards in the game a common. So Fire Formation Tenki from Cosmo Blazar as number 2. Some honorable mentions include Magispector Unicorn Kieran from Dimension of Chaos, Red Reboot from Flames of Destruction, Lost Wind from Raging Tempest, and Destrudo the Frisian Dragon from Circuit Break. Sorry, got tongue-tied there. Now for our number 1 most thrown bone at Konami was also a monumental landmark in the TCG's history. Twin Twisters as a super rare from Breakers of Shadow. Breakers of Shadow did 3 things in the TCG. First of all, it introduced the meta to probably the most broken Tier 0 deck of all time, Performa Mage and Pals. That deck was insanely powerful, gave us access to Pendulum Source as a secret, Strike as a secret, Reflexi as a secret, and Infinity as a secret. And those were easily, like in the first 2 cards, Strike and Pendulum Source were 80s to 100s piece, Infinities were like 60, Reflexios were like 30. It was a very expensive set, and this was also the set that introduced the new rarity ratio pulls in the TCG, where you had 2 secrets, 4 ultras, and 18 supers in a box. No ultis or ghosts anymore. And the fact that Twin Twister is one of the best spot-on removals that is still played in the competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta today was only made a super rare. Imagine this, one of the best cards I've seen in almost every deck, including Burning Abyss, side decks to get rid of Floodgates, was only super. Imagine had this been a secret rare. This easily probably would have been the most expensive card in the set, probably even outclassing Strike and Pendulum Sorcerer. And this card, like I point out, is still used in competitive play today, as a lot of the cards that I previously listed are either forbidden on the list or have been power corrected in today's game. But Twin Twisters, since its release in 2016, has stood the test of time. So, Twin Twisters at number 1 from Breakers of Shadow. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video. Give me a thumbs up, a like, tell your friends about the channel. We hope to see you as Team Jodwin at the Indy Regional August 18th. And also, hopefully, we'll be able to go to the 200th in Columbus, Ohio in September. This is Team Jodwin's Fat Mystic Wizard. And have a good day. Thanks for watching.